Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings. Not live, we're pre-recording again.
Pre-recording today, because I'll be in Charleston all day tomorrow for annual gathering of all the clergy together with Bishop Lawrence to renew our ordination vows. And this will be the last time that Bishop Lawrence will be doing that. He'll be retiring and a new bishop will be here this time next year. And so it'll be a special time. And then after the renewal of vows, we sit down and have a meal together, and the bishop talks to us about things, and then after that have a dean's meeting, and then after that I'll be meeting with the bishop on some stuff particular to our parish. So, but it'll be a full day.
But this is actually the first in-person meeting that you've had since February,
all the rest of it's been Zooming.
Right.
Conventions, everything. Glad to get out of that golly day. But it'll be good to see all the people again, with no mask and all the rest of that.
Right. And that's at the cathedral?
Be at the cathedral in Charleston. Yeah.
Very nice.
It will be.
So we're pre-recording, so if you ask a question, I'll try to watch it live so I can answer any questions you might have. But things are starting to roll again. So I've got, I grabbed this before coming over from my office, and this is the women's summer study that we're going to be doing in person. I know some people are super excited about that. And it's titled Jesus Over Everything by Lisa Whittle. So if you're interested in joining this, it starts in the end of June, June 23rd on Wednesday nights at the Parish Hall on the historic campus. And we'll have nursery available if nursery's needed. But excited to get back, and we didn't get to have it last summer, so it'll be fun to see some.
The 23rd is the Wednesday after.
Is the Wednesday after the 20th, the big celebration.
Which is the big celebration.
Indeed.
Right here on this campus.
Some of you have already started to sign up for that. Thank you very much, so that we can get some numbers to help with catering. Rod Musselman's heading that up, so thank you very much, Rod, for that. And we're meeting tomorrow to talk about fun things like flowers.
All right. But you really need to get on that sign up, because this is a big place and there's 600 spaces, so you need to jump on that as soon as you possibly can. I think it'll be a big celebration. I'm looking forward to being there. We'll gather around the Lord's table, then we'll gather around tables and fellowship together and eat together. And Rod's got a wonderful meal planned, for a catered meal for everybody, no cost. Just come and celebrate.
I had somebody yesterday say, if you offer free food at Sun City, people will show up. And they'll show up 30 minutes early. So I've never experienced that with in Sun City, but apparently free food is a big draw. So. But that'll be fun.
I hope the celebration is the big draw, and the fellowship.
Yeah.
That'll be the big thing. People we've been scattered apart in homes, then we come back into worship services, and we don't have a chance to catch up and touch base with people who worship at a different service, a different time, different location than we do, and this will be an opportunity for that. So I hope you all plan to be there for it. And then I'm telling you, it goes wide open after that. That's the 20th, the 21st, before your Bible study. We'll have people taking all the tape off everywhere and put the Bibles back in the pews on the historic campus. And it's really important that y'all sign up for volunteers, because we need all the greeters, the ushers, the crucifers, the sacristans, Sunday school teachers, all of that. Hospitality.
Go back and say Sunday school teachers again.
Yes, Sunday school teachers and aides, Sunday school assistants in the rooms. Yeah, that's monstrous. The church, this church is built on lay people. It's not priest dominated and staff dominated. It's about lay people. And so that we've got to have all those different volunteers. And one of the things about it, I think people have gotten out of the habit of volunteering because of COVID.
Just haven't done it.
We haven't done it, and there hadn't been a way that we could volunteer and get people involved. And we've been trying to stay distance from everybody. And, with all that behind us, we're fixing to pick up steam in a fast hustle. But we're not going to be able to go any faster than the volunteers that come on board. So if you want to see crucifers walking down the aisle, somebody better be volunteering, because we know we can run without that. We'd rather not, but we can sure run without it. We've been doing a stripped-down liturgy for a year and 4 months now, and I'd like to get back to the full liturgy on the historic campus and here at the chapel, but that means people. come to the rail to receive communion, that means you've got to have priests there. You also got to have lay people to be doing the chalice. And so we got to get ourselves back in gear now. You got to get in shape. Everybody's been rested up. Time to crank it up.
You've had a good rest.
Big rest. Big rest.
But it's very biblical serving within the church. We're the body of Christ, and it takes the gifts and talents and hands of many, many, many people.
Many. But I'm excited about the cranking up and all the things that'll be coming back into play. I really am. Working on the fall schedule. It's been great. It's going to be go, 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 go. Like it was before COVID. It was go, 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 go. So hang on, get ready, sign up.
Yes, on Thursday's e-news that comes out, there'll be an opportunity for you to connect with us to say if there's an area you're interested in serving in at all campuses.
Yep.
So.
You're going to do an insert on the historic campus or the chapel or anything?
I think so.
Or you're just going to do it on the
Well,
e-news?
we don't have many bulletins to insert, but maybe a little
Just a
thing
little handout.
as you drop off your offering, you can pick up.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just make it easy for people
Check.
to let us know. Make it easy to let us know.
Check the box.
Yeah. We've had some visiting priests on campus here.
2 weeks, a busy 2 weeks, yes. Organizing the meetings and just touring the campuses and being able to see everything. So just a tremendous blessing getting to meet Nathan Weaver and his family last weekend, and then Josh Lake and his family this weekend, and they're flying out this afternoon.
Yep.
So,
And Josh is from Jefferson City, Tennessee, and
well, originally from Norfolk, Virginia.
yeah. And then Nathan is from
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Both good
So
fellows.
very blessed by the
But his wife's family and all that's from Macon.
yes, Macon, Georgia. So very blessed by the messages that they shared with us last weekend and this weekend, and then you're preaching here next week.
Yes, Jack Horner and you, right here. And at Cross Point.
And at Cross
Both of
Point.
them. And I think isn't this a communion Sunday at Cross Point?
It is, and isn't it Pentecost?
It is Pentecost Sunday, that's exactly right. I had let that slip my mind. We'll be in red stoles on Sunday, and red historic campus will be all draped in red over there. Yes, it will be. Glad to see people. We had a lot of visitors this past weekend on both campuses, and still a growing number of people coming back for the first time, and praise God for that. I had a big crowd at Cross Point and a Sunday school overflowing over there, nursery, all that. You know, I think it'll be early fall. Perhaps by Labor Day we'll start that second service back again there at Cross Point. I don't know, we'll see. Depends on volunteers again.
Yes, it does.
So, you know, the 10:30 service, and I want to get the 9 o'clock service going there, and I believe that this chapel service will keep growing, and in time we'll be adding a 10:30 service here. And that's the plan. 2 Cross Points, 2 chapel, and 3 on the historic campus. And that'll carry for a while till we build again.
Till we build again.
Till we build again. Got that. Jasper County's growing. You know, we've got land waiting out there for us. That'll be a few years away yet, but this area's growing.
Oh, my word. You can tell by the traffic.
It is growing.
Yeah.
Growing. And you got young people going to the Passion.
Yes, really excited about that. That's in July. Our youth, middle school, high school youth, are going to the Passion Camp, is what it's called in the summer, in Daytona for 5 days. So that's Louis Giglio's church puts on these conferences for the youth, and then college-age kids in December. And you've seen Pastor Jonathan has talked about that numerous times. About going to those conferences. So excited to see.
So how many young people you reckon we'll have going on that?
I think it's 50.
50.
50 and 10 adult leaders.
Wow.
So 60 of us going to Daytona.
60 of us, that means you're,
I am.
whoa, good for you.
I'm excited. I will come back exhausted. I haven't stayed up late with youngsters in a long time.
Better you than me. Better you than me. Whoa.
I think I can do it for 4 days.
And then come
I
back.
think I can push through for 4 days.
Then come back and crash. Yeah, yeah. I think that'll be a great trip. And I know our young people have been before. Different ones have, and they've all.
This would be the 3rd trip that the Church of the Cross has taken youth, because last year's was canceled.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. COVID, casualty.
So that'll be exciting for them to get back and share, because it really is a life-changing experience. Sometimes you have to go off to really be able to hear the gospel message in a different way sometimes.
That's your mom and I watched The Gallant Hours yesterday.
Okay.
You ever seen that?
You're
before?
pulling out all the black and white movies lately.
I've been around a while. I have memories of those. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't recall watching that one.
It's a stunner. You pull it out. James Cagney is the star of it. You heard of him?
I have.
There you go. Anyway, I told you I'd read the book. Last week I told you I finished the book about the 4 admirals.
Yes.
Bill Halsey was one of those admirals.
Right.
So this is about an episode. He's about to retire, and it's all based on history, the Battle of Guadalcanal, the Navy's role in that. And it really is amazing, just amazing. And I like the opening and closing, the sailors on the ship where he's retiring and all that. And they sing a song that the sailors don't, but the background music for the scene is the Roger Wagner chorale, a very famous chorale back in that, men singers and all that, and they sing a song that's specially written for that, and it's about his life. And said, the start of it is, I knew a lad who went to sea and left the shore behind him. I knew the lad was me, and now I cannot find him.
Oh, wow.
He's retiring, and he's been in the Navy for 42 years.
Oh, my goodness.
And the lad that went to sea
It's not.
is no more. Been shaped by
War
all those
and
years.
conflict
Oh,
and-
yeah. Because he's in World War, all that stuff.
Right.
Graduated from Naval Academy, all 4 of them did. Buried at Arlington Cemetery. But that's another, but it's a great story, but it's that idea of life transformations that take place by life's experiences. And he had been in multiple wars and death all around. And, it's just like my daddy. When he was in the Pacific in 1939, he's there when Pearl Harbor's bombed and all that, and people blown up around you, and you're changed by all that. You're never the same, never the same. And that's one of the points of the story.
Yeah. So you finished that one. What are you reading now?
I read a book now that was written in 1901 by F.B. Meyer.
Okay.
And it's on the prophet Elijah. I like Elijah. I've preached on Elijah several times. I think I got another sermon or two coming after I read this book, because he's a Scottish writer, and he has a real special insight into the life of that great prophet, and how God was working in that, and what we learn as God takes us to hard places. And like he was talking in there about God taking him to the brook of Cherith, and the ravens feeding him, and the brook is there, and he's hiding out from Ahab, and he thinks he's the last faithful person around. So there's this sense of loneliness about him, and he draws that out of the passage. But then he gets into how it would have been to be thinking God has brought you here to provide for you, and you see the brook starting to dry up, and the vegetation around you starting to die, and the birds disappearing, and all the rest of that. How hard it is to be faithful in the face of diminishing resources. See, and and how we begin to question God. And Elijah doesn't never question, see. That's amazing. Even though the stream is rolling and then it just moves down to a trickle and then it's gone. And then God asked him to leave there and go to Zarephath. And he said, unless you really understand the request, you can't get it, because Zarephath is about Sidon. It's out of the Holy Land, but it's over 100 miles away. You got to walk through parched land, scorched, no rain, nothing. And Ahab controls the whole territory. So he's got to trust God. He's got to face his fears. He's got to make that journey through all the scorched stuff and go to a place where the drought has spread to there too. So there's no running brooks up there. Not at all. She's on death's doorstep when he gets there. And I had no idea in the world, and just from reading that particular passage about the widow at Zarephath, I would have no idea in the world that Elijah was there 3.5 years. I did not get that. So the idea of the cruise and the meal lasting for all that long, and him being there in this Gentile place, really is interesting in a picture of faith in the face of diminishing resources. Most of us don't do well with that.
As we can see by a lot of people's reaction when you hear, just this past week, gas shortage. What's people's reaction?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
on running hoard.
Yes,
I got to
sir.
go get gas, and which is why a lot of
So if
South
we-
Carolina didn't have it.
So if we're in the situation and we're seeing the brook is gradually diminishing in volume, the first thing we want to do is, okay, we need to start storing water. Mm-hmm. This is not looking good here. God's not going to take care of me. I've got to provide for myself. And you become less and less dependent. Our dependence on God seems to be in direct proportion to the resources that we have. Mm. And so as the resources we have start to diminish, we begin to depend more and more on ourselves, like the hoarding of gas and stuff like that, as opposed to being more fervent in prayer and saying, all right, if these resources are diminishing, as these are going down, God's sovereign over that too. God brought me here. If he brought me to it, he's going to see me through it. And all right, if these resources are going down, what's God preparing for resources to take the place of them? And trusting in him until the stream goes dry. So, and you haven't hoarded any water. You haven't been saving up the food the ravens have been bringing to you. Real powerful insights, written 125 years ago. But people are the same. And he's in Scotland writing, and here we are in the U.S., people are the same. But the moral of the whole Elijah thing is that God's the same too.
Right.
And what he has done, he is doing and will do. And sometimes our resources have to get down mighty low before we'll turn to the Lord and say, look here, there's no gas for me to even go to the station and hoard anymore. And I'm running out of my red containers are empty now, And we have to get to the end of our resources before we begin to look to God. So he takes us low to raise us up.
Mm-hmm. That is the exact passage that I helped in Sunday school yesterday. I needed an extra set of hands. We had such a big group, we needed to split them. So I was with Jay Frazier, and we took the 3rd and 4th grade group. Most of them were boys, and we were in 1 Kings 17, and that's exactly what we talked about. And just that, if you're told, go beside this brook, and you're going to be fed by ravens, like, how does that sound to you? And they're like, I don't know if I'd have done that. So, obedience, even when it doesn't sound like it's something.
One of the interesting insights into that was just the idea you're going to be fed by ravens. And ravens are scavengers.
Right.
They're like buzzards. They only eat dead things. And here the ravens who are associated with death are going to be the harbingers of life, sustaining nourishment for you. And so that Elijah's challenged even to consider that the vehicle for God's deliverance doesn't make any sense. It goes against nature, see, which makes it supernatural.
Yeah, a miracle. And the same thing with the woman. He goes to her and says, well, make a cake for me. And that's all she had.
Yeah. Yeah. Great insight. So anyway, I'm reading.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to a teaching or something, a couple of sermons.
Yeah, I was thinking that I might do a series about Elijah. Again, I've done a series on Elijah once or twice, but there's so much there to mine from that passage. So I think I might do something on that, or maybe do a teaching. I'm looking forward to teaching again in the fall. Maybe do it on Elijah. Those are, there's the kind of people like Jonah. We think we know something about him, but we don't know anything. We just Jonah and the whale, and we think we know the story, or Noah and the ark, and there's way, way more than that.
I like what Josh said yesterday in the flannel board. I could totally identify with that, having gone through Sunday school, and you did have those flannel boards, and but you're really just peeling back the onion.
Yeah.
And there's so much to learn, continuously learn from God's Word.
So I'm really enjoying reading that. And then I'll go back to some kind of history. I don't know what that'll be, but and one of the big sayings of Halsey that's often quoted is there are no great men. There are only great challenges that ordinary men are forced by circumstance to face. There are no great men, just ordinary men who are forced by circumstances to face these great challenges.
There's a lot of truth to that. Yeah, absolutely.
He saw himself that way.
Absolutely.
But it brings you back to Jack Horner with the pride and stuff.
Well, I haven't heard that sermon, but I've been interested to see how you did that one.
It's pretty good, if I may so say it myself.
I heard it was. Several people commented. So, well, very good. All right, so you're headed off tomorrow. Well, when this is viewed, you'll be in Charleston.
I'll be in Charleston.
Have a safe trip there, and blessings to. That's a special time with the clergy and the bishop.
Yep.
So that'll be
and
a
Bishop
blessing.
Lawrence is a very special godly man.
Yeah. He'll be here in October, if I remember correctly, on the calendar, and we'll be doing some confirmation then, and then his annual visit.
He'll be doing confirmation for adults and children, and that will be the Wednesday night on the historic campus before he's leads worship on Saturday afternoon and 2 Sunday mornings on the historic campus that second weekend in October.
Yeah, so something to look forward to. Confirmation again. That'll be exciting. Yep. We haven't seen him in a while because of COVID.
That's right.
And haven't had confirmation in a while. So that's coming up in the fall, river baptism. So start watching in the Loop, the e-news. You'll start seeing things about river baptism. Sign-ups for that if you haven't been baptized or were baptized
and want to recommit yourself.
And want to recommit yourself. You can get baptized in the May River, which is a really special time for the church family. So the date is not set yet because it depends on the tide.
Yep.
So
working on it. That'll come out soon, though.
We'll let you know when the river baptism is. So young and old, anybody can be baptized in the river. So
you only baptize once, so it's baptism and recommitment to baptismal vows. So it'll be great.
Yeah.
And you need to get that celebration in the announcement loop.
Yes, it's on my list for
so that
today.
Be in there, remind people, and be sure you sign up now. Be sure you sign up.
Yeah, you'll the e-news on Thursday. It'll be on social media, the link to be able to sign up to attend for that. So we're looking forward to as many people gathering as we can fit in that space, and if not, you can watch online and participate that way as well.
But no other in-person worship services that weekend.
Yes, not even Saturday night.
That's
So
right.
no other services that weekend, so we can focus on the celebration
Right.
together. So, all right, we'll have a safe trip tomorrow, and all of you go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Thanks be to God. Hope I see you in worship. God's peace and blessings to you.
Have a great day.